everybody. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. Just want to make sure you guys are okay. Here's the update, guys. We are finally in this house. And now this is my new studio. So, yes, we got internet. So, okay, we've got internet working right here in our new house. This is my new studio. What you see behind me is my husband on his computer. And I'm on my dad. So, a great day. So I came to visit and I showed her where my house was. Well, I showed her on the inside, and she told us that there is a married couple that are selling the washer and dryer. We went to go and look at them. So Chris has to pay them so we can get our washer and dryer dropped off here.
If we can
Yeah.
do it, because I don't know if people with pickups are going to be available this weekend.
This is why we need someone to help us to get the washer and dryer from that married couple and take it to our house. This is our new place. What do you guys think? I hope you guys know that I'm no longer doing my podcast from my old apartment, so we don't have to go back there except for getting the mail from there, because we went to the post office yesterday and we uploaded, well,
Something else to do.
we had to update our address, and it went pretty good. So now I don't have to go to our old house, but getting the mail. Now I can do my podcast here. This is our office / my studio, because I'm literally looking at the camera right here from my own studio where my husband is, because he's right behind me. Thank you guys for subscribing and watching my show for the last 1 full year. So we're probably going to be in this place for the next few years. Hopefully, maybe another 10 years, but it depends. We'll figure. So it is 39 minutes after 8 p.m. I was just having dinner, working on the slippers, and having dessert, but but today we had a wonderful day, so got everything taken care of. We were running errands, got our house cleaned up a bit, fed our cat, done everything we've always wanted to do. So have our bigger house with much bigger space. So instead of doing the kitchen podcasts, I can do it in the office right here. This is my studio. This is my station here. My husband's station is right behind me. So anyway, there's a new story we have for you all tonight. It's called The House That Repeated Thursday, which is like the day of the week. So I just want to say thank you guys for being very supportive and very encouraging. So anyway, let's get started on the story. I know you like lots of ghost stories, so let's get started. So please click like, share, and subscribe. And anyway, just please click like, share, and subscribe to the story. We are in episode 147. Tomorrow will be 148. So I hope you guys are ready for a lot of ghost stories I can give you. I do a lot for you guys. I read a lot of ghost stories for you. I just hope you guys appreciate all that. And if you guys have any questions, please leave me a comment down below right here on YouTube. And I would love to see what your opinions are. And we'll get something going. So anyway, let's get started on the story. So, the house that repeated Thursday, episode 147, season 5. Naomi only agreed to house sit before her friend Julia was desperate. Julia and her husband had to leave town unexpectedly for a funeral, and the old family home on Baker Street needed someone to water the plants, feed the cat, and make sure the pipes did not freeze in the cold snap. Expected over the weekend, Naomi liked solitude and assumed 3 quiet nights in a well-furnished old house would be easy money. The place itself was large without being luxurious, filled with inherited furniture, framed ancestors, and clocks that ticked at the slightly different tempos. In different rooms, Julia apologized before leaving and said only one odd thing: if Naomi heard the hallway grandfather clock strike 13 on Thursday night, she should not go upstairs. Naomi laughed, thinking it was dark humor tied to childhood fear. Julia did not laugh back. She only said, "I'm serious," and drove away before Naomi could ask more. The first day passed. Unfortunately enough, Naomi worked remotely at the dining table, fed the cat, and explored only the rooms clearly meant for guests and family life. The upstairs east always stayed colder than the rest of the house, but homes often choose one corridor to resent. Thursday evening arrived with sleet against the windows and that strange compressed feeling winter nights sometimes bring. Naomi cooked pasta, watched half a movie, and nearly forgot Julia's warning until the grandfather clock in the hall began to strike 11, then 12, then after an impossible pause, it struck again 13. Slow blows rolled through the house, each one heavier than the last. The cat bolted from the room and vanished upstairs. This is so creepy. I hope you guys know that some houses can be very old and haunted, you know? We were just talking to the sellers of the washer and dryer in Lincoln. He said something about Hummel Park. Actually, no, not the guy in Lincoln. The Cox Internet guy said that there is other place that is extremely haunted. Do you remember what he said?
I do not.
He told me a story what happened in that sort of place. Maybe like another park, maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember, babe.
I don't know either. So I don't even remember what the guy said, but yeah, said something about paranormal stuff going on, maybe at the old house or another park, maybe. But I forgot. It's been a while. So cemeteries can be a lot hauntier than ever. But in 5 months, Chris and I are going to Kansas City again for another haunted trail. Not the same one we took 2 years ago, but there's another one. Maybe another haunted house. They only have that special event only in October, which is like a few days before Halloween. So that can be a lot scarier than ever. Okay, let's continue on the story. I hope you guys know that it could be related to any ghost stories, especially homes that are occupied with lots of spirits. So let's continue on. Naomi stood in the silent aftermath trying to decide whether fear was more embarrassing than curiosity. Then she heard footsteps on the second floor, not random settling sounds. Footsteps with direction and urgency moving from the front bedroom to the hall and back again. A woman's voice called faintly, "Where is he?" Followed the slamming of a door. Naomi should have ignored it. Instead, she took the flashlight from the kitchen drawer and climbed the staircase, every rational thought fraying a little more with each step. At the top, the east hallway looked subtly wrong. The wallpaper pattern seemed brighter. The scones warmer, and the air carried a smell of coal. Heat rather than modern radiators. One bedroom door stood open to reveal a room arranged not as it had been that morning, but in an older style, with a travel trunk by the bed and men's shoes lined neatly by the wall. This is so freaking creepy at the same time. I mean, if you guys know that it might be eerie and you try to be brave enough for it, I probably would try investigate it instead of freaking out and taking it seriously, maybe. Yes, but also I would probably investigate a lot of places like that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this, and I hope you guys are majorly, literally brave enough to investigate a lot of places. Let me know if you have any coincidence going on at any place. I would love to investigate. Just give me all the details and any story. Somehow, maybe I will try and remember all that, but normally I don't remember. So, because when I'm asleep, I don't remember a thing. All right, let's continue on the story. Inside the room, a woman in a dark dress stood with both hands pressed flat to a dresser as if bracing herself against bad news. She looked to be in her 30s, her hair pinned severely, and her face carried the fixed panic of someone trying to keep order 1 minute past the point whether order is possible. Naomi gasped, and the woman spun toward her, though not with the shock of seeing a stranger. Instead, she looked through Naomi as if recognizing the shape of a witness without understanding why he went out in the steel. In a sleet, the woman said, "He said he would only be 10 minutes." Then she rushed into the hallway, and with no better idea, Naomi followed. At the far end of the corridor, another figure appeared, a younger man in shirt sleeves, one hand to his side, leaving faint with wet prints across the runner carpet. The house was repeating something. Naomi understood that much even before the front door downstairs slammed hard enough to rattle the stair rail. The woman hurried toward the staircase, calling a man's name. Naomi could not catch the younger figure, tried to follow, but stumbled against the banister and vanished as if swallowed by the wallpaper itself. Suddenly, the entire house felt crowded with echoes, a child crying somewhere closed off, hurried voices in rooms no longer used, the grandfather clock beginning to strike again downstairs, though its hands had not moved. Naomi backed against the wall, flashlight forgotten in her hand, while the woman ran past her once more with a basin of water that spilled onto the hall floor and vanished before hitting the boards. Then the woman stopped dead in front of a closed door near the end of the corridor and whispered, "It's Thursday again." This is so creepy. I mean, if I ever saw this woman, I probably would try and investigate it. So I hope you guys are brave enough to listen to this story. I clearly would definitely listen to any story. I listen to ghost stories all the time. And, you know, um, I sleep through the ghost stories. I don't get scared because of the spirits going on and on. Well, like a lot of ghost stories are literally trying to scare us to death. But why would I be afraid of anything like that? I mean, if I saw a spirit, I would try and help this ghost communicate with others, and I would try and um, reunite these ghosts with each other and find the light and go into it, move on in the afterlife. So, thank you. Anyway, but yes, I probably would try and figure out how to help these people instead of being afraid of them. I probably am not scared. So, anyway, let's continue on the story. We're almost done. We're about 20 minutes to the story. The next morning, Naomi called Julia and demanded an explanation. Julia sounded exhausted, not surprised. She admitted the house had belonged to her great grandparents, and that every so often, usually in winter, always on a Thursday near the anniversary of a certain storm, the upstairs hall seemed to replay the night her great grandfather was carried home after collapsing in the street during sleet while trying to fetch medicine for their son. He did not die immediately. He lingered upstairs for hours while the family moved between hope and dread, and the house, according to family talk, never learned the difference between that Thursday and the next day. Julia said she had heard the clock strike 13 three times in her life, and each time refused to go upstairs. Naomi asked why. Julia had not told her more. Julia answered honestly because people stay in a haunted house more easily when the haunting has not yet been named. Something tells me that Julia and her husband are somehow afraid of going upstairs and refuse to go into the room what happened in there. So they pretty much stayed away from upstairs rooms. And they are afraid that something terrible could happen to them as well. Like maybe, I don't know, a curse perhaps been put on them, but I don't really know. Maybe her family. I don't really know. So that's what I'm thinking. No wonder why Julia is scared to death to go up there. Maybe she's seen her own great grandmother and, well, something terrible would have happened if she did. Or she's just too afraid to witness anything. Anyway, let's continue on the story. We're going to be done soon. I'm going to go back downstairs, relax, eat some dessert, crochet the slipper. Hopefully it's going to, turn out pretty well. I'm hoping. So this is why. Well, anyway, let's continue on. I hope you guys like the story because it's an amazing thing to do with this podcast, and I love doing this. This is what I chose to do, and I'm happy with it. So let's continue on. Naomi should have left right then instead, out of some mixture of pity and stubbornness. She remained one more night with the intention of not going upstairs no matter what. At 11, the cat sat in the doorway staring at the hall at midnight. The house became so still, Naomi could hear sleet ticking against every window at once. Then the clock struck 13. She stayed where she was, shaking. The footsteps came anyway, moving overhead and then descending one stair at a time, as if the replay had changed course. A man's ragged breathing filled the lower hall. Naomi did not turn until a voice beside her said very gently, "Tell her it was not the weather." Standing near the dining room archway was the younger man from upstairs, pale and wet-haired, pressing one hand to his side. "It was already too late," he added. At dawn, Naomi found an old family letter bundle in the secretary desk Julia had told her never to bother with because it only contained boring genealogy. Inside was a physician's note and a private letter confirming that Julia's great-grandfather had been gravely ill before going out that last Thursday. The medicine errand had only given the family a cleaner story than the truth. Naomi left the letter open on the dining table for Julia to find. After returning home later, Julia told her the house stopped striking 13 after that winter. Perhaps coincidence? Perhaps a repaired clock mechanism? Or perhaps the repetition ended because the house had finally been allowed to hold the truth rather than the virgin grief found easier to live with. Naomi never house sat there again, but she no longer thinks of haunted houses as places possessed by the dead. Some are simply built around one unbearable evening and forced to relive it until somebody says what really happened in the dark. This is so insane and scary and freaky. Yeah, I probably would literally try and figure out what is going on. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it is 3 minutes after 9. It's already dark outside, and I'm so glad Chris and I are not going anywhere. Not even for a walk, unless we choose to. So, maybe, I don't know, but I'm hoping we would go for a walk, but I just need some exercise. We haven't done that since we ended up moving into this location, to our new house, new chapter, new life, everything. So anyway, let's get started on the questions because I just want to get back to my thing. So get back to eating my dessert and finish making my slippers. I'm working my ass off to get this thing done. So I hope you guys are being brave enough to listen to this story and maybe get some answers for this. Do you guys think that this story is relatable? And do you guys think this is just the saddest way to, I don't know, help someone, or the saddest way to lose someone in life? So let's get started on all 10 questions. We got a lot of questions now, so we are in 29 minutes and we're almost done. So let's go with the questions. Do you guys have any questions? Please leave me a comment down below. If you guys have any answers for it, also please leave me a comment down below. I'll be back here by tomorrow night, same time as always, and we'll have a new story for you guys tomorrow night. So let's get started on the questions. Would you have gone upstairs after the clock struck 13? Maybe. I might. Well, if you want to investigate this whole thing, yes, I probably would. Chris, would you go upstairs after the clock struck 13?
Probably.
Would you investigate everything?
Probably.
We probably would. So, anyway, thank you guys for listening to the story. Now we can do questions. So, let's go to number 2. It can be very scary if you guys ever had this sort of experience. So let's go with the questions now. What is more disturbing, a ghost or a house repeating an entire night?
A house repeating an entire night.
Looks like a house has some kind of time loop, repeating the same day for decades. Perhaps. I think it's the house. It's not something to do with the ghosts. It's something to do with that storm night in the winter when the child was dying, but I think it might be the house. Maybe the spirits that are trapped in that house repeating that same night for decades, and they don't know how to move on. When the day they died is because there was, they somehow got struck by lightning, maybe when this winter storm going on. Perhaps it doesn't say which Thursday was. I mean, it was like decades ago. I mean, I don't really know. So it must have been sometime in a 1940s or 50s, but still, I think it must have been somewhere around there. I hope you guys are listening every word I am saying to you guys. I would definitely investigate it if it was that house repeating the same day over and over for decades, maybe more than decades, half a millennia maybe, or more than millennia, over 2 millennia. It depends. All right, let's go to number 3. Why do you think the house kept replaying Thursday? The reason why it's repeating the same Thursday is because they're in a time loop repeating their final moments that same day when their child was dying, when the husband was dying, perhaps. I think it was the husband of the great grandmother, Julia's great grandparents. So perhaps they were reliving their final moments. So I think they were. It's not because of the spirits are haunting the place, it's because they are reliving their deaths, how they died, and their final moments. So that's why the house was repeating the same day over and over and over for many years. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Let's go to number 4. Do you believe uncovering the truth can stop a haunting? Of course it does. Yes, I believe the truth can awaken anything and stop all those bad hauntings, trying to help the spirits get the final truth. These ghosts were trying to communicate with Julia because they want her to know what really happened that night, or they just don't remember it. So, anyway, Julia is too afraid what really happened. She's just not, I don't know, convinced herself, but she's still in process. And this is why she still lives in a haunted house. Let's go to number 5. Okay, guys, we are about 5 questions left. So we're almost done here. I hope you guys had the best night and the best creepy, chilling ghost stories of your life. I hope you guys are all excited for the new thing. What part of the story unsettled you most? The woman, the younger man, or the clock? It's probably the clock. I'm thinking it's the clock, also a husband and a wife. That's exactly what I think. So, yeah. For me, I think it's all the above. The grandfather's clock, perhaps, and spirits are literally trying to figure out how to get the truth to their living descendants, to find what was really happening there. Maybe they just don't remember how it happened. They're still trying to figure it out. So, anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I hope you guys are still here and getting all the answers. I hope this might help, but I'm trying my best, guys, to give you all the answers. Let's go to number 6. Was Julia wrong not to explain the house fully before leaving? Yes. I think she was wrong because she needs to tell the whole story to her friend. Like, literally, her friend has no idea what is really going on at the house where Julia and her husband live. Sorry, guys, I'm just so tired. I've been taking care of my house and visiting with my mom at my own house. She came over and saw everything that we've been doing, and she was impressed about our house and she loved it. So that's why. But anyway, I think Julia is supposed to tell her friend Naomi what really happened, but she's just too afraid that Naomi would not handle that kind of pressure of house sitting for her friend. So she could have done the right thing, but I think she was probably wrong about it. Okay, let's go to number 7. Why are repeated time hauntings different from the ordinary ghost stories? Well, that's a good question, guys. I'm hoping that maybe the repeated hauntings can be like, there's probably going to be more story to that, all the hauntings and stuff. Perhaps maybe there's a lot of hauntings going on, but other than that, well, I think it's a time loop. No wonder why the hauntings can be a little bit different sometimes, or they're just reliving their final moments no matter what. I mean, if I were them, if I were Julia or Naomi, I would continue investigating this place and trying my hardest to get all the answers and evidence. Like any sort of evidence. I would try and ask the spirits to give us the best answers and communications. Just try their best, tell the truth about what really happened when they passed away that night. So anyway, let's continue on. So sorry about that. Okay, I think there might be something in there. Got it. Okay, so let's go to number 8. Would you have stayed the second night? Yes, I would. Of course, I probably would. I would not abandon my babysitting job for the haunted places. I probably definitely would stay another few nights to get more evidence, more communicated with the dead. But yes, I actually would.
I'm gonna run this box to the dumpster, babe.
All right, I'm almost done.
Okay.
We got 2 questions left, so I hope you guys get this story makes any sense and all those questions and answers. We are in 40 minutes now, so let's continue on. Do places sometimes preserve the version of events a family can emotionally survive? Yes, they can. Of course they can. The reason why is because it's just part of the memories and they don't know how to move on. So they relive that same moment. And this is the reason why the family who died in that house where Julia lives still haunting the place, and they're reliving their moments before things went in the beginning again, like the clock striking 13 about 3 times, and things can go a little hazy, but I probably would definitely investigate it. It's just part of us. It's just how it is. Okay, guys, we are in one last question before I sign off and come back tomorrow with a new story at the same time as always, hopefully. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I hope this can interest you, all this. So, sorry about that, I'm just really thirsty. It's probably because my blood sugars keep going up and down, not staying stable, but you know. All right. If a house kept repeating one terrible night, what would you do first? Leave or investigate? I will actually investigate. I would never leave the house. I just want some answers. I would literally want to figure out what really happened in that house that night. I would try get some notes going on, talk to some people, maybe do a lot of researching, maybe like do some background checks about the history of the house. The reason why I would stay is because I want to know more about this sort of haunting, about the people and what history is and like what really happened. So I probably definitely literally would stay. So okay, we are out of time, so thank you guys for listening, and thanks for being so brave, and I hope this helped you guys. And well, tomorrow we'll have a new story for you all. So it's called The Teacher Who Stayed After the Bell. This is a new story. It's something to do with school. Well, just want to say thank you guys for being very supportive, and have a wonderful night, and we'll see you all tomorrow night, same time at Ghosting with Anya, right here on live stream, right here on YouTube. And stay safe and stay spooky and have fun and just have a wonderful night. So please click like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.